Alright, today we're talking about Voltron. This show, it's amazing. You should watch it. If you haven't watched it up to this point, spoiler warning, Shiro's dead. Just kidding, he's not. But, that's the thing. We're about to discuss that. Yeah, people think that Shiro's a clone. You know that theory? This guy here, that he's a clone? Yeah, screw that noise. We're about to debunk that. Kayla, you take it away. Sit in the chair. Have fun.
Hello. Spoilers, especially for season 5. So if you haven't seen it, you better click away right now. Just saying.
Go watch the show.
Go watch it. Link in the description below.
No! Yeah, link to Netflix. Yes, I can do that.
Okay. So Shiro, the lovable space dad, as people call him, he is somehow, at least I think, stuck somewhere in his mind. Now, that may sound a little bit like ominous and just plain weird, but I mean, it makes sense because like he's kind of at a battle for him, like in his mind, in some kind of sense, where, well, he's been kidnapped by the Galra not once but twice at this point. And it's weird because why else would they let him escape? Second time he just left without any
trouble.
He left without any trouble. Like, it went off without a hitch, other than him being shot down on a desert planet. But that's
you know, that's the
So Hagar, if you watched, she calls it Operation Quran or something like that. So this can only mean one of two things. Shiro is actually Quran, aka a clone, or stuck in his mind, and they're calling it Quran because it's not actually him. And everybody's calling him this new Shiro. The new Shiro is weird since he got back from the astral plane. Since he got back from being with Zarkon, or whatever, battling Zarkon, who was supposedly dead.
He was supposedly dead.
Yeah, Zarkon was...
No, Shiro was.
Shiro was supposedly dead after that incident because his paladin armor was there, his Bayard was there, but he was nowhere to be seen.
Wait, was his armor there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
because they had it on the ship.
Oh.
Because he was put back in the Galra clothes. And like I said, it could be mind control or he's trapped in his own mind because of Hagar's magic. Because Hagar can obviously make rogue beasts and, well, tap into other people's minds, help Zarkon find where Voltron is at the time.
She's a literal witch.
Literal witch. Making Lotor a son of a witch, but, well, that's another story for another time.
Please.
And we all remember when they were first connecting with their lions, how they had to connect on some kind of astral plane. Right?
I don't remember that.
Well, when Shiro was battling for control over the Black Lion, because Zarkon still had a hold on it, back in like season 2 or 3, I believe.
Probably season 1.
It was close to like season 2 or 3 or something like that. And so Shiro connected with his lion on the astral plane, and he fought Zarkon there. And he said, you don't command the Black Lion. The Black Lion cannot be commanded. It chooses who its paladin is. And you're no paladin.
Boom. Roasted.
And in that astral plane on the, what I'm going to call the barrier planet, I think it was Nex something. The planet was Nex something.
Was it that planet with like, all those ants are like really in tune with nature and everything?
No, that's the Okari.
Oh, never mind.
But the like, it starts with an N, I know. And it's like, it's just like a barren planet besides like the like mines and stuff. The Galra set up to make it look like it was inhabited, but it's not. There's nothing there. But these giant like pillar things raise up and like cause a barrier, and it's like zapping the quintessence of Voltron, so it is not operable. So they enter the astral plane yet again. In the astral plane, Shiro is missing for a little bit, and everybody's calling out his name, and he's not there.
Yeah, it takes Shiro a little bit to get there.
It takes him a little bit to get there. So people are asking, where was Shiro during that time? Well, it wasn't Shiro, it was Quran, because he wasn't sure how to pilot the Black Lion. So he's just learning from, like, the paladins or something. And he didn't know how to access the astral plane, because it is seen that Shiro appears for like a split second out of the uniform or something, and he's calling out to Lance. He says, Lance, listen to me. But Lance couldn't hear him. He's like, Shiro? What? But later, he's talking to Lance. And Lance goes, what happened back there? And he goes, I don't know. Things went dark there for a second. Dark?
Like your lion or your costume? Get it? Cause
what was dark? What went dark?
That was a joke because he wears black and he has the black lion. I made it funny.
Boo! You suck!
But then a bunch of people ask, why does he choose Lance to talk to? Well, Keith's not there. He's training with the Blade of Memora. So he talks to Lance, who he's like the second closest to since Keith's gone. It's because he can see potential in Lance. Lance is just... He's not just lover boy, flirtatious Lance. He has a lot more potential. There's a reason why he's the blue paladin. And then he gets to be the red paladin. He doubts his power, and he just goes to Keith about this in like season 3 or 4, when Shiro just disappeared. And he is voicing his insecurities to Keith, who understands. And he's like, well, I'm just the 7th wheel, because if Shiro comes back, I won't be able to pilot a lion, so I'll have to sit out. And Keith goes, just don't worry about who flies what. Leave the math to pitch. So he has a lot of self-doubt and like insecurities. But Shiro can see right through that and see his potential. He's like, there's a reason you are the blue paladin, and why you could be the red paladin. But obviously, Kuro doesn't know that. And, well, Shiro snaps at Lance in that episode. Because Allura is saying that taking Lotor to the Galra Kralzera ceremony, because it's the lighting of the torch, aka whoever's taking over since Zarkon's dead. And they're saying it's a bad idea, don't go down there. And Shiro's like, well, I've got to do this because, you know, you got to do things you don't want to do.
I think he was basically saying, like, this is our only shot. This is our
and
best
Lance
shot.
is like, no, let's regroup. We can think about this. And he snaps at Lance and he says, this isn't your call. You're not the leader. And Lance doesn't seem to take it to heart because he's like, Shiro would never yell at me about this. I'm trying to talk sense into this man. Why would he snap about something that risks their own safety? And because of the snapping, Lance knows there's something wrong with Shiro. Well, in the last episode of season 5, Pidge, Hunk, and Karan are working on the control panel or something to try to restore power to the castle. And Lance is just asking a bunch of questions about the well-being of his friends.
With Allura and Lotor, because they went into the white hole.
They went into the white hole. And he's like, do you think they're dead? And then Pidge said something. And then he said, what? Not talking to you, Lance. It was just a heart-wrenching moment. Because he's just trying to voice his concerns and nobody listens to him.
Well, I mean, in all fairness, they were trying to fix the freaking ship so they could breathe.
But they're like brushing him off like he's stupid. Like they shouldn't be concerned about it. He's very concerned. He's a lovable guy. Mm-hmm. He cares about the people who are closest to him. And then Shiro's just standing there, arms crossed, doesn't care. And he's like, all right.
He cares. It's just that he's not good with tech, so he's like, well, I can't contribute here. Let me let them do their thing. But
then again, he's standing off to the side. He's just standing there.
Well, what's he gonna do? He's not technically inclined.
He didn't have to stand in there. And then Pidge finally snaps and is like, Shiro, can you take Lance out of here? Then they go outside, and Lance is like, okay, you don't need to babysit me. And then that's when the real Shiro comes back for a split second.
I thought you were about to say something else, and I was about to get on you for it because this is a PG channel.
No! And then he notices something wrong with Shiro, and Shiro goes, and he says, what's wrong? And he goes, I feel like I'm not like myself. Boom! Hook, line, and sinker. This just shows that Shiro doesn't feel like he's himself. He's someone else or somewhere else. We're still not sure about this.
Something else. Mm-hmm.
Lance just brushes it off and is like, oh, it's probably just the lack of oxygen. Just sit down for a second with me. And he's like, no, Lance, I'm serious. I think there's something wrong. And Lance just specifically says, don't worry, Shiro, we'll get through this. He knows. And Keith is probably going to know too.
Yeah, after he deals with his mom.
Which is a whole nother animal.
What?
But I mean, that just confirms that, well, Lance does know there's something up. And he's not going to say, you're going to get through this. He says, we'll get through it, because he's determined to help Shiro figure out what's wrong with him. And I also think that he and Keith are going to be the ones to save him from the astral plane.
Are you done? Is that
I
it?
mean, she closed her book, so I mean, no, I think she got
Simply
more to say.
because they have the closest connection, Shiro.
Giving you back the reins.
Thank you. So that's my friend Kayla's theory on Voltron. I think I agree with it. She's making some very valid points. She clearly did her homework. A lot more homework than I did on my pink diamond theory. You can see that it's there, I think. That's where it's, yeah. 'Cause, yeah, the eye's gonna be there. That's the card.
Yeah, the info card.
Yeah. What?
I have a question.
What's up?
How would we know if like there's maybe not like a mental disorder or something? Like if he was tortured and stuff.
Well, we do know he has PTSD.
I was about to say,
tortured
like-
in the past, but this is different.
But how do we know that didn't like trigger an even worse
You also need to bring up
PTSD?
long-haired Shiro.
Long hair shit. Well, yeah.
Because how long was he gone?
Yeah, because
For his hair to grow when he gets facial hair.
yeah, that's the thing. Because here you can you see? You probably can't. But like he's got the short hair.
Just put up a picture.
Okay, as you see here, he's got the short hair. He's got the white streak for some darn reason. Probably had to do with the with what the Galra did do with him. But then, when he supposedly dies and then comes back, he suddenly has this amazingly long. He's Tarzan, and he's got this long hair. He's got face hair. He's got a beard going on
Basically, dad. He's got the dad look going on there,
with longer hair.
like surfer dad. Or...
Yeah. So, he's surfer dad instead of space dad. Most likely that means that he was gone for a while. How long was he gone? That's something that needs to be addressed.
Days, weeks, months.
I mean,
Well, I mean, it'd take a while for days. So.
I was about to like
Weeks,
bring in like
months.
logic and stuff.
Oh
like
yeah,
that.
bring in
Yeah.
some logic to
Go
this
ahead.
theory.
you want to take over the reins? You want to sit in the chair?
I'll stay here.
Okay, go ahead.
I mean, if you want me to, but I.
No, yeah, it's fine. I'll put up a picture of
Okay.
your face.
Oh, I pick a good picture.
Yeah, all right, I will.
It takes about like a year for you to grow at least like about 3 inches of hair. So that means he's probably been gone for a long time.
Yeah.
So I think it was about 3 inches of hair. So it would have taken him a long time. And also, if he does have PTSD, then probably if something has triggered that, and if he's into that fight or flight, if he chooses flight, most likely he'll like want to be alone for a while. Mm-hmm. So how do we know like he didn't like run away and escape so that way he could deal with things?
But he didn't escape from them. He escaped from the Galra, which is like the bad aliens. And then again, we don't know how long like space-time actually is.
Yeah.
That's also the biggest thing because
Because we don't know how fast time's passed on whatever planet or wherever they've been keeping him.
Wherever
because
in
it
space
could
they
have
were.
been years for him, but really it's only been like maybe a few seconds.
Yeah, maybe.
So.
And plus, we don't know if that's like the Galra's doing with his hair and stuff.
Or the animators could have just put long hair to indicate that he was gone for a long time.
That's true.
True.
That could just be a simple explanation. We're just looking too deeply into this.
Yeah.
But that's what this video's for. It's a cartoon conspiracy theory.
Very video.
Yeah. But I mean, hey. Just a little
And also,
bit.
you know, like put up pictures of plants and shit, you know.
What?
So that they know, if they don't want, well, I mean, they probably know.
Also, just for the record, viewers, I've
Okay.
never seen this show. Like,
Yeah, my friend Astrid over here.
Here.
Freaking, yeah. You get over here. Hey, go ahead. Sit in the chair.
oh, okay. Hi. I don't know anything about the show. I've
Yeah.
never seen the show. This is just my 2 cents from what I've heard from them, and them fangirling. But yeah, that's all I was gonna say.
Yeah, okay. Get out
But
of
I
the chair.
mean, I'm comfortable now.
Get out of my chair. So, that's the theory, and then some.
Yeah.
So, you guys tell me what y'all think. Put it in the comments. YouTubing stuff to say. Put up the end card. I don't have an outro.
Stuff and things.
I kind of have an outro. I just said it.
Dale's doing stuff and things.
Just put.
Insert the end card.
Yeah, just put up the end card.